Good morning. So I've been out riding, taking a short break now. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the idea of perspective and our children. And last night, kind of tying into this, I was watching a video by a girl in the universe, and she was talking about the energies that have been coming through and how it takes about 3 days to let them flow through and process with us. And then we have all these new awarenesses and things, blocks are removed and new gifts show up. And over the last week, as I've been processing all these different energies, I've also been working on my family history. More on my maternal side, trying to sort out some of these women that have been driving me crazy for a couple decades. Now I was able to find some records, and I was also talking to family members and just asking, well, what do you remember about them? And this is what I know, and looking at all of these things that may have created these different perspectives about these people. Well, one of the things that came up again in a big way for me Thursday, when my boys and I were having dinner, is that one of them is very angry with me at choices I made 4, 5, 6, 7 years ago around family and information and just a lot of different things. Now, let me clarify, these are teenagers we're talking about, and we know, most of us, that by the time they hit their teen years, they have mostly suppressed their magic and some of the things that made them really stand out so that they can be more normal and fit in with the population. And we also know that with all of the programming through the education system and the TV and the video games and the rap music they listen to, you know, what a parent thinks kind of gets shoved to the bottom, and what we think is always wrong. So, you know, I was kind of sitting with that, and I was really kind of irritated about that for a while because, you know, they don't understand, and they couldn't understand 4, 5, 6 years ago when they were much younger why I made certain choices. So they have a perspective about me. Basically, I'm wrong and stupid and horrible, and that's okay. What we have to do, I think, as parents is give them the space to feel that. Don't react. Respond with love and a lot of patience, and just kind of look at, okay, this is what's happened. This is maybe what they've repressed. This is how they are viewing any of these situations that they're upset with us about. And just breathe, because it's all going to change. It may take several years, but it will change. And that really made me think about, you know, my perspective on my parents, my siblings, my extended family, grandparents, as I was growing up, because as children we process things one way. And often we will process those things so that we can stay safe or protect ourselves from emotions and situations that are just too overwhelming to handle at that age. But then those things get locked in our bodies, and if we don't look at them someday, when they start to surface, they can create a lot of problems for us. So looking back over my life, sorry, there's a plane going over. Looking back over my life, I know I had very different perspectives growing up about who my family was and all of the horrible things that happened, the choices they made, how I was angry with them for a very long time about it, until I started to grow up, have my own children, start to see and understand and have those conversations you can't have as a kid. Well, why did you make that choice? What happened? What happened when you were a child? What happened when you got married? What happened when you made that move or took that job or whatever it is? And then when we start to do our inner work, which for more than a decade, I've been doing some very deep inner work, all of these other shifts start to happen, and you realize, wow, they're not as horrible as I thought they were, or maybe I shouldn't have had that perspective. But in that moment, that was the perspective we had. So it's kind of important to just not judge ourselves too harshly on that or at all, and just be in the space of, okay, that's who I was then, that is the perspective I had, this is who I am now, knowing this information, having removed the block within me or healed the trauma that I endured that made me not able to see the whole picture of what was going on. And I think that's what we all have to do right now, is just hold space, Don't judge. Look at the different perspectives, because there are just a lot of different perspectives out there right now. We're being bombarded by them every day. And you don't even have to listen to my perspective. You know, it's just one perspective out of a lot that are out there. So as we move through the rest of 2021 and all of the changes that are coming, all of the things that are going to freak people out, especially our kids and teenagers who have a hard time processing what's happening now, it will just be really, really important that we continue to hold space for them, that we're patient, that we just love them as much as possible, and we just help guide them when needed. Give them a little nudge, or give them a little bit more support, or whatever it is they need in that moment. And just realize it's all going to change. And it could be next week that it changes and they decide, wow, they're not so angry with us anymore, or they see things in a new light. So I invite you to sit with that today. And if you're doing your genealogy research and you have certain perspectives on family members, maybe take a look at why. Why did those family members behave that way? Just think about that. And then watch for my new classes coming out. I'm going to be launching them. Registration's probably by Monday, and you'll be able to take a deeper dive into your family history and look at why people may have been the way they were, behaved the way they did, had patterns and beliefs that were passed down. I think we have to really look at what were the events in their lives beyond the genealogy records that shaped them, because they shaped us. Have a beautiful day. Bye.